Do you believe Muhammad wrote the Quran?
No, I think his followers wrote it.
So you thought his followers wrote it?
Yeah, I think it was written by a group of people.
You think a group of people wrote the Quran?
Many minutes later.
Well, he was delusional, wasn't he?
So if he's delusional, right? So if he's delusional, then the idea that he was lying and that his mates were making up the Quran and he was pretending it was an angel or thinking it was an angel, yeah, you can't have both.
Okay.
Right. So you can't be both. So if you're schizophrenic, you're not a liar. Now you have to pin your colours to the mask, Graham. Is he schizophrenic or is he a liar?
Schizophrenic.
He's schizophrenic.
Yeah, deluded.
Right. So who authored the Quran?
There are violent verses in the Quran that talk about chopping fingertips and heads off, right? And I want to know why they're there. I want to know
why.
What on earth God sent a revelation? Why would God, Allah, send down a revelation to Muhammad to order him to chop the heads off and the fingertips off of the unbelievers? The Muslims were outnumbered by the Jews.
By the who?
So
outnumbered by the who?
The Muslims were outnumbered by the Jews.
By the who?
By the angels.
No, the Muslims were outnumbered by the who at the Battle of Badr?
You tell me.
Well, you just said it about 3 times now. You believe the Muslims are fighting the Jews at the Battle of Badr?
Yeah, because
why do you think they were fighting Jews? Why do you think they were fighting Jews?
Can I ask you how Muhammad met his wife Sophia?
Safia. Yeah, of course. Yeah, she was. I think she was one of the wives of the victims after the Battle of Khaybar.
Okay.
Do you know the story? Have you heard the story? Do you know the story behind? Do you know how he met her and how he chose her?
Well, you tell me.
And what he offered her. I don't think you do. Romeo and Juliet, right? Listen to me. Romeo and Juliet. Listen to me, please, Graham.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet has nothing on the story of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Sophia. Nothing. So how can I help you?
Well, first of all, when I asked you what your favourite revelation was, you seemed to give me this sort of a sarcastic sort of remark.
No, I give you what my favourite revelation is.
Okay, not to worry about people like me.
Yes.
Okay, but you saw what I wrote before that. You saw that I wrote the one where Muhammad had more wives than all other Muslim men, yes?
No, you asked me what my favourite revelation was, and you said, is it that particular verse? And I said, no, it's the one where Allah tells me not to worry about the disbelievers who mock and reject and such. Leave Allah to deal with them on the day of judgment, when the angels lay you out and say, this is the day you used to deny. Yeah, I love it. So I answered your question in a negative way. No, not that verse. This verse.
But my question is, which I've never seemed to have got from a Muslim, is how many wives did Muhammad have?
Why does that matter?
Because I'm asking a question.
Why? I think at one point, maybe at the same time, maybe 9, I think 13 in total. Why?
Right. Okay. So, yeah, I thought 11 in total. You said 13.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know exactly. For me, it doesn't really matter. But you said you've asked Muslims what they told you. What if they told you when you said you've never had an answer to this question? What do they say to you?
Well, they just shrug their shoulders, or I, get an answer between 8 and 9.
No Muslims ever said to you how many wives Muhammad had?
Yeah.
Every Muslim you've asked has said, we don't know. Or really? All right. One second. Let's ask Google, innit? How many wives did Prophet Muhammad have? Peace and blessing upon him.
According to Wikipedia, after her death in 619 CE, he married a total of 12 women over the remaining years of his life.
Oh, there you go.
From these wives, 2 bore him children, Khadija and Maria al-Qibtiyah. Almost all of Muhammad's wives were widows, with the exception of Maymuna and Aisha.
So, according to Wikipedia, which could well be a reliable source, 12 after the death of his wife. So, like I said, 13. Okay, what's the point? I don't understand.
But at some point he had 8, yes? Was it 8 that you
What
said?
you mean? I said after the death of Khadija, radiallahu anha, he married a further 12 women in total over the remaining years of his life.
Okay. How many wives can a Muslim man have in total, maximum?
Maximum 4.
Up to 4. Okay, so why did the Prophet of Islam, the person who set the example, break that cap? Why did he have more?
He was given
Did he receive
special
a revelation
dispensation.
saying that he could do that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well that's a bit convenient, isn't it?
Well, considering the mission he had,
Okay.
yeah, it's necessary, wasn't it? How many? What does it matter how many wives he had?
Because he is supposed to be, so thank you for that question, right? So I'll tell you what I think. As the person who is supposed to set an example to Islam,
Right.
I think that he should set that example, and that he should have up to 4 wives. He could have 1, 2, 3, or 4. He sets the example. Now, my understanding was capped at 4. Sorry, I will let you speak in a minute.
So here's the problem you've got.
When it was capped at 4, go ahead.
Great, Graham. Let me explain something to you, and this is the problem that you're having. I'll explain it to you. It's a very simple problem. The paradigm you're working in, yeah. So your paradigm is this: you believe Muhammad wrote the Quran, yeah?
Sorry?
Do you believe Muhammad wrote the Quran?
No, I think his followers wrote it.
So you thought his followers wrote it?
Yeah, I think it was written by a group of people.
You think a group of people wrote the Quran?
Yes.
So the Prophet Muhammad didn't write the Quran. So you're saying that he didn't write the Quran, a group of people wrote the Quran on his behalf?
Well, he's supposed to be illiterate.
Well, no. This is not my paradigm.
Well, maybe.
Do you believe he was illiterate?
Maybe he did write some of it. Books.
Do you believe he was illiterate?
Films, movies, films are made. TV shows, books are written by multiple people.
Do you believe he was illiterate?
Do
you believe he's illiterate?
That's what we're told.
No, do you believe he was illiterate? I'm talking about your paradigm now, because you're in a different paradigm to me. So I'm trying to work out what your paradigm you're in. So do you believe he was illiterate?
No, maybe it was a lie.
That was a lie.
Possibly.
Does the Quran say he was illiterate?
I don't know. Was he? You tell me.
Well, no. Well, you said if it was a lie, what does the Quran? Does the Quran say he was illiterate?
Okay, he was illiterate then.
Say he was illiterate.
Yes, I.
Right. So you believe? So these are 2 for 10. This one's £4. It's a different colour. Okay. Yeah, so basically, you believe he was illiterate. So you believe a group of men wrote the Quran, and you think they give him a kind of a dispensation to have more than 4 wives.
Very good. Right. He was the person who received supposed revelation.
No. Don't use my paradigm.
Write it down.
No, your paradigm is illiterate, so there is no revelation. So in your paradigm, there is no revelation. Muhammad didn't write it himself because he's illiterate. So in your historical context, what you're understanding is that a group of men wrote the Quran. And you're saying that those group of men said, okay, we're going to limit wives to 4, but for you, Muhammad, we're going to make it 8. Yeah? Is that your paradigm? Is that what we're saying?
Well, I guess so, because when they were writing the Quran, they were too worried they were going to get their throats slit, or they were brainwashed into thinking that he was the prophet.
Okay, so basically, these guys, they said, all right, we're going to limit wives to 4, but for you, Muhammad, we're going to allow you to have 8. Yeah? That's what you believe.
And again, I believe that Muhammad had his followers write down and document this in the Quran.
Why were they his followers?
Sorry?
Why were they following him?
Well, like anyone, like a president, like a prime minister.
But he wasn't. That wasn't his
like
character.
an actor or a celebrity or people on Instagram. They have
Why,
followers.
why would they follow him? Why was he their leader? Why do you believe that? Where did you get your historical information from with regards to the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, and whether he had this kind of...
The conversations that you have in Hyde Park is one of them.
Right. So prior to Revelation, where is this idea that he was walking around with a load of followers?
Sorry, say that again.
Prior to Revelation, before the Quran was revealed, where you get this idea that he was walking around with loads of followers?
Because he went to a cave.
He went to a cave.
According to him, he went to a cave, yeah.
Right.
And according to him, he got revelation from an angel, Gabriel, who told him to read something on the floor. So he couldn't read, so I don't know why they've asked him to read something on the floor. He then comes back and he starts coming out with all this bollocks.
So did he know it was a lie what he was saying?
Sorry?
So you're saying he was a liar, a charlatan. So let's put things in a nutshell. Let's make things easy, Graham. Yeah. Let's try to combine paradigms. So you're saying that the claim he made that an angel came in the cave to him, that claim was a lie.
Yes.
Prove it.
Oh, you're really clever there. Right, you've asked me to prove something that I wouldn't be able to prove.
Yeah, I've asked you to prove your claim, yes.
I can't prove something happened in the 7th century.
Right, you can't prove it.
Okay.
Okay. Can't prove it. Okay. Why do you believe he lied?
Right.
Let's put things in. Actually, let's even make things even clearer, Graham. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Right. So you're saying that you believe in God?
No.
You don't believe in God? I thought you said you did.
I'm agnostic.
All right. So you don't believe in God, but you but God could exist.
I don't follow a religion, but I can't rule out the fact that God doesn't.
Yeah,
exist.
don't worry about religion. We're talking about a creator here. We're talking about the one that created everything, the one that everyone's going to return to, the one who sends messengers, if indeed he sends messengers. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here.
Well, not about sending messages, but the universe and everything in creation. Then yes, okay, I could be open to the fact that yes, something did create the universe or the solar system.
Right, and then how would this creator? How could we know anything about this creator?
Well, he could start by writing a book in. Well, if you've gone on the same God, he could write a book in Hebrew, ancient
You
Greek.
you don't need to go. You don't need to go specific.
You don't need to go specific. Hold on. No, you want to know?
No, but you don't need to go so specific right now. I'm asking a very simple question. We have a creator who created everything. Mm-hmm. Would you prescribe any attributes to this creator that created everything?
You want me to? Sorry.
Could you infer any attributes to this creator?
Yeah, something that created the universe or the world.
Yeah. So, what would we say? This creator is powerful.
Guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely so. Intelligent.
Guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Has a will.
Guess so.
Oh, so we have this. Okay, that's fine. We're with you, right? Would you say that this creator, if indeed this creator created everything and created us, this creator would know us better than we know ourselves?
Yeah.
Know what would benefit us and what would harm us?
Yes.
Know what is good and what is bad? Be the standard?
Yes.
Right. So we then have to then say that if this creator exists and this creator is the source of supreme guidance and the source of objective morality, how would we connect to that? Or how would we be able to ascertain anything from this creator? Is it one way?
Okay. Well, that one way could be being the creator of every single human on the planet and everything on the planet, the solar system and the entire universe. I don't think that creator would have a book written in ancient Arabic and send it down to a man in the Middle East.
Right. So again, you're going a bit too far ahead. So let's make it easy for you, because I'm asking you a rhetorical question. All right. How would we know anything about this creator? How could we know anything about this creator? Is only way we can know is whether this creator reveals anything about himself. Yeah.
Sure.
It's the only way we could do it. And unless the creator reveals these things, we're never going to know these things. Yeah.
So thank you for pointing out your rhetorical questions there, because basically what you're doing is you're asking these rhetorical questions.
No, I'm asking you a rhetorical question because you should know the answer. It's a very simple question, but I just want you to be on the same page as me. And I want to make sure you're thinking like I'm thinking. All right. So there's 4 options with regards to this claim that has been made in the desert 1400 years ago in this cave, when this angel came, Either the prophet, peace and blessings upon him, was deluded. He was maybe hallucinating, and he had visions of angels were not there, and he basically deluded himself into thinking he was a messenger of God. That's one option. Another option is the Christian option. The Christians love this option. A devil pretended to be an angel to fool the prophet into thinking he's going to be a messenger of Allah, messenger of God. But in fact, he's really the devil. And everything in the Quran is from the devil. And all the teachings that the Prophet ﷺ taught were all from the devil. This is the Christian claim of the possibility of the claim in the desert 1400 years ago. Or he's lying. He's made it all up. He's pretending an angel's come to him, and he's gone down to fool the people into believing he's a messenger of God. And for 23 years, he continues the charade to fool the people. Or 4, he's telling the truth, and he is indeed an angel did come to him, and he is indeed the one chosen to reveal this revelation to mankind.
Okay. Can I just ask you just one thing, just very quickly?
You can, mate.
Right. If I told you that I am the prophet, I am the Messiah, I am receiving messages from God, and I'm going to write a book, and I'm receiving revelation, and I'm going to put this book together. What would you say to that?
Well, you're talking nonsense, mate.
You tell me that I'm talking nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay. So, isn't that what the Jews said to Muhammad? Didn't they say you're talking nonsense?
No.
They didn't. Okay.
No.
So why did they try to kill him?
Who tried to kill him?
The Jews tried to kill Muhammad, didn't they?
When did the Jews try to kill him?
I don't know exactly when it was. I can look it up. But we all know that there's a revelation in the Quran sent from God to Muhammad and his people to chop the heads of the unbelievers and chop the fingertips off.
Okay, so that's a different.
Why did God send that revelation down to Muhammad?
Okay, so that okay, so in the book that is referring to a battle that took place with the Bani Qurayza, and that is referring to the angels. Where basically Allah says to the Muslims, why have you put down your swords? Because the angels are going forth. So basically, we're talking about battles here, and if you understand what happened with Bani Qurayza and how treacherous they were and what they were going to do, killing men, women and children, whilst the men were fighting, and how they were going to go back on a treaty and join with the enemy against the Muslim army in Medina. So there's this history behind Bani Qurayza. That's one thing. But you said, the Jews said that Muhammad is making this up or whatever it may be. Where are you getting this from? The Jews actually said to the pagans, wait until our prophet comes, talking about an Arabian prophet, comes, and then we'll deal with you. So they were waiting for a prophet in that area. And why was there so many Jews in the region of Medina, Yathrib? Yeah, they were waiting for an Arabian prophet.
Right. So sort of almost like back up Muhammad and Islam here, there are violent verses in the Quran that talk about chopping fingertips and heads off, right? And I want to know why they're there. I want to know
Why?
what on earth God sent a revelation. Why would God, Allah, send down a revelation to Muhammad to order him to chop the heads off and the fingertips off of the unbelievers?
Where does it say chop their heads off? No,
Do you want me to look
you
it up
don't.
in the Quran?
Yes.
Know in the chat. I can look up and
Yes.
find the verse for you.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
I'm
it.
sure it says
Every
Surah
question-
Al-Tawbah. One second. Let me just. I'll make it easy. Look, Google's your friend, Graham. Which
No, but
verse
you
of the
should know,
Quran
you
mentions
should know.
the cutting off of fingertips?
Do you not have a Quran on you?
No.
Don't you read it every day?
No. Although I am reading it every.
Out of context, please, someone read it to me.
I am reading it every day in the month of Ramadan. So we will come to this verse. 1 second. Which verse talks about striking the fingertips of the non-believers? Let's have a look. There we go. What verse is that? Surah 8:12.
People saying in the chat that it's not in the Quran. Have you found it?
Surah 8. I don't know about cutting off heads. Where you got that from? Okay, so this is verse 8:12 you're referring to. And remember, when your Lord revealed to the angels, verily I am with you, so keep firm those who have believed. I will cast terror into the hearts of those who have disbelieved, so strike them over the necks and smite over their fingers and toes. So this is what Allah's telling the angels to do.
Okay. Right.
So this has got nothing to do with human beings.
Oh, I see. So he's telling the angels to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So Allah is telling the angels to do it. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Telling the angels. And did the angels do that? Did the angels come down with their wings?
I don't know. I don't know. They did fight in the battles, we believe. Let's have a look. 1 second. I think it was believed because I think it was, from what I understand from some of the tafsir, is basically this was referring to the Battle of Badr, which is the first battle the Muslims had with the Quraysh, with the enemy.
I believe so. Yeah.
And they were completely outnumbered, and they didn't know that the angels were fighting alongside them at Badr.
Okay.
And so this verse is revealing that the angels were fighting alongside you.
Okay, so I think I've heard this before. That's really good. The Muslims were outnumbered by the Jews.
By the who?
So
outnumbered by the who?
The Muslims were outnumbered by the Jews.
By the who?
By the angels.
No. The Muslims were outnumbered by the who at the Battle of Badr.
You tell me.
Well, you just said it about 3 times now. You believe the Muslims are fighting the Jews at the Battle of Badr.
Yeah, because
why do you think they were fighting Jews? Why do you think they were fighting Jews?
Right. Why is there a revelation in the Quran that is telling people to chop unbelievers' heads off and chop their fingertips off? Why is it
No.
Right.
No. First thing, let's establish something, Graham. No disrespect, mate. You have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. They weren't fighting Jews at the Battle of Badr. Yeah. They were fighting pagan Arabs.
Right, pagan Arabs. Okay.
They weren't fighting Jews.
Okay, pagan Arabs.
The Jewish tribes later on allied with the pagans.
Okay, so, right, but this is the thing. Right? You say I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get information. I want to ask you questions.
No, but here's the problem. You see, Graham. Here's your problem. You're not getting information. You're making stupid claims.
Okay, then speak to me, right?
No, well, so what you need to do, Graham,
the Muslims
weren't
killing the Jews.
Graham,
the Muslims weren't doing that.
Graham,
no, shut up, right, hold on.
Graham,
the angels were
you
doing
just need to relax a little bit. And you need to know what you're talking about.
You sound.
How stupid do you sound making historical claims which are not true? How do I sound stupid? I'm correcting your error. You're the one who should feel stupid, assuming things you thought were true which are not. And I should actually make you backtrack and say, oh, fair enough, I didn't know. Huh?
Tell me what's going on. Why are there these violent verses in the Quran? Tell me what it's all about.
Oh, okay, I'll explain it to you. The violent verses in the Quran are all about self-defense. The violent verses in the Quran are all about protection for the people. Yeah.
What?
So, for example, do you believe in the Geneva Convention?
Do I believe in it?
Yeah. The idea that everyone has a right to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And can they fight militarily? Can they kill the enemy?
Not when they're the prophet of God.
No. Can people kill the enemy who's trying to kill them? Is that a problem? No, they can't kill the people who are trying to kill them.
No, they can't.
Is that what you're saying?
A prophet. Not if they can perform miracles.
So you're saying people can't. If someone comes to,
so
you're saying if somebody invades England, say the Russians invade England as part of their expansion, you saying you don't have a right to kill Russians who are trying to kill you? Is that what you're saying?
Well, being the Messiah and the prophet.
I'm talking about you, not Messiah or prophet, mate. Talking about you, mate. Do you believe you have the right to kill Russians who are trying to kill you?
And had a revelation from an angel.
Do you believe you have the right to kill Russians that are trying to kill you? Do you believe you have the right to kill Russians that are trying to kill you and your family? Do you have the right?
No.
You don't have the right. Do British soldiers have the right? Do the British soldiers have a right to kill the enemy that's trying to kill them?
No. No,
they don't have the right.
No.
So you don't believe. So you believe if someone comes to kill you, you let them kill you.
No.
So you don't believe in the Geneva Convention then?
If Muhammad was a prophet,
forget Muhammad, man. We'll deal with your. Forget. Look, first thing we're dealing with your principles and demonstrating your inconsistency. So let's just deal with that first. So if you're honestly saying that the Ukrainians should lay down and die from the Russians invading their country, they've got no right to kill the Russians. That's what you're saying. Yeah? Is that what you're saying? Ukraine should just say, yeah, Russia, come, take the country, it's yours. We're not going to fight you because Graham says we're not allowed to fight you. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Why were the pagan Arabs
is that what you're saying?
To kill Muhammad?
Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that the Ukrainians shouldn't fight back the Russians? They should let them take them, kill them?
Yes, they should defend.
Is that what you're saying? Well, they can defend themselves.
Yes.
Can they kill the Russians?
Yes.
Oh, they can kill the Russians?
Yeah.
All right, so you do agree with killing the enemy then, yeah? Brilliant.
You're really good. You are good at. Oh, I'll give you right. You're really good at this, right? You're getting me to answer these questions, yes or no.
No, I'm getting you to be consistent. Just getting you to be consistent, mate. I'm getting you to stand by your principles. I don't want you to look disingenuous live. Yeah, I want you to.
Well,
I guess give you a chance.
Argument then, yeah.
I've got you on every argument you present, mate. This is just one.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now we know this. Now, the verse of the Quran says what? Fight those who fight you and turn them out from where they turned you out. What does it say? Fight those who fight you and turn them out from where they turned you out. So this is now specific. This is a verse in the Quran that's referring to who? A people who've attacking you and who have taken your stuff. Yeah? So Allah gets the permission. Now for 13 years, there was no retaliation from the persecution the Muslims faced from the pagan Arabs. There was no retaliation. It took 13 years before. So this verse in the Quran is the permission now to go and fight back, because what the Quraysh were doing, what the pagans were doing was oppressing them, slaughtering them, taking their possessions, taking their houses, taking their property, selling it in caravans. And the time came now. Now enough is enough. Go take back your stuff. Now go fight back those. But then the Quran continues. But if they stop, then you stop, because this is a permission, and Allah loves not the transgressor. So you have a permission to go fight these people, but not anyone. fight those who are fighting you, and when they stop fighting, you stop fighting. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So if you're being fought against, it's okay to fight back. And I think you had a point there. I thought, well, yes, I have to admit that. That's fine. You have to fight back.
All right.
Okay. Can I ask you how Muhammad met his wife Sophia?
Sophia. Yeah, of course. Yeah, she was. I think she was one of the wives of the victims at Khaybar. Yeah, after the Battle of Khaybar.
Okay.
Do you know the story? Have you heard the story? Do you know the story behind? Do you know how he met her and how he chose her?
Will you tell me?
And what he offered her?
What he offered
I don't think you do. It's one of the romantic, honestly. If Romeo and Juliet, right? Listen to me. Romeo and Juliet. Listen to me, please, Graham.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet has nothing on the story of Muhammad Sallallahu and Sophia. Nothing.
Sorry?
Nothing, not a stitch. The story of Romeo and Juliet and the romance between Romeo and Juliet, yeah, has nothing, is nothing compared to the romance of the story of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Sophia. Nothing. But you've probably got bad information as your premise.
Sorry, can we just go? Right, sorry. The romance between Muhammad and Sophia is nothing compared to the romance
the story of him marrying her.
Yeah.
The story of him marrying her.
Right. You're comparing it to that, to Romeo and Juliet, saying it's nothing.
No, I'm saying it's so romantic. The story. Yeah, you see, the way you're seeing it is some seedy kind of way, rather than seeing the beauty in it.
Oh, right, okay. So, so why don't you explain to me how they met and about the romance and the beauty?
Okay, so basically, she had a dream. From our tradition, she had a dream that the moon came into her lap, something along those lines. And when she told her husband, yeah, he says, "Oh, you're something was the word you want the prophet to marry you or something along those lines." And he beat her, yeah, and marked her.
Okay.
And when after Khaybar, everything was done, and obviously the spoils of war were there. The Prophet seen Sophia, and he's seen the mark, and he asked her about the mark, and she explained to him of what happened, and he offered to marry her, and he said, "You can marry me. You can marry me, or I can leave you here as the head of this place." And she chose to marry him. So what we take cash or card. We don't mind. So I don't understand what your point is. What's your point? Remind me what your point was. And furthermore, there's another story where the other wives of the Prophet were mocking her because she was a Jew. Yeah, because Sophia was a Jew. And when she was complaining to the Prophet, he said to her, "Tell them that you're married to the Prophet, but your father was Musa. So you're more than them." But I'm trying to understand what your point is. What's your point? Tell me what the point of Sophia was. I don't know. You asked me to explain it. I've explained it. What's the big deal?
Right. So I've asked you how that they met. You've said
yes. After the Battle of Khaybar. Yeah.
Okay. What happened there?
What do you mean? What happened where?
Was the husband murdered and executed?
Do you believe Osama bin Laden was murdered?
Sorry, say it again.
Do you believe Osama bin Laden was murdered?
Why can't you answer the question? Why?
I'll explain it to you because I'm exposing your disingenuous nature. Because you say murdered, right? When it suits you. So I just want to understand. Do you believe Osama bin Laden was murdered?
I don't know. Was he?
What do you believe he was? He was killed, wasn't he? Was he murdered? Was that murder? Was it murder? Has there been a murder?
I don't know what happened. I know he died.
He died. Was he murdered? Did the Americans murder him?
I don't know. Was he? I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Okay, let me make it easy for you. You're English. You're English. Was Guy Fawkes murdered?
I don't know.
Guy Fawkes. Hung, drawn,
Going
and
back to
quartered.
Bin Laden, I think Bin Laden was shot.
Yeah, was that murder?
So, what, Bin Laden?
Yeah.
I believe so. That's where you want to go with the argument.
You believe it's murder. And what about Guy Fawkes? Was he murdered?
I don't know the history, but I think what you're trying to point out is yes, he was. I don't know.
Okay, what about William Wallace? What about William Wallace?
Guy Fawkes, I definitely don't know.
What about William Wallace? Was he murdered?
I don't know. What's your point? That these people have
The
died?
point I'm making is what does murder mean? What does murder mean?
When someone kills you, when you're killed by someone.
What does murder mean?
When someone kills someone else?
Why is that murder? So you believe British soldiers, when they kill enemy soldiers, are murdering them?
Going back to Bin Laden, I think what we're trying to point out is yes, he was. I believe he was shot.
No, I just want to understand when you use the word murder. I want to understand what that word murder means. Yeah, tell me what murder means. Kill unjustly, maybe.
Someone else.
No, that's not murder. Kill unjustly, I would say, is probably murder.
Why can't you just answer the question right? Someone killed someone else. That's what murder is.
That's not what murder is.
No? What's your definition then?
No. Killing someone else unjustly.
Right. So you think I've got the definition of murder wrong because you think murder is unjustly.
You don't even know what the definition is.
And Sophia's husband was murdered. Or was killed.
No. Was his okay? Was her husband killed unjustly?
Why are we? What? Maybe he was.
All right, but you don't know.
What are you trying to get at? You're trying to twist things around. You're very good at this.
No, there's no twisting around here. It's saying words in the correct capacity. Now, you said her husband was murdered, and I'm trying to establish, was he murdered? Was he killed unjustly? Really? Really? Why'd you say that? Because this is your premise. He was murdered. Her husband was murdered. Just because he was killed, that means he was murdered. But that's what doesn't mean that. So was he killed unjustly? Her husband? What was his crime?
Yeah.
What was his crime?
What was his crime? What? Because he was trying to kill Muhammad.
Treason.
Yeah.
And how? And who? And which law determined his sentence?
Probably the Quran.
No. Jewish law.
Right.
So he was tried by his own laws that he adhered to. And this was in Judaism, this was the punishment for treason. And treason is when you make a treaty with somebody and then you break that treaty and try to double cross them and try to basically, like I said, they were supposed to be allied with the Muslims. So the Muslims didn't need to worry about the back of Medina. Yeah, because the Quraysh, the Arabs were coming from the front, the pagan Arabs, the massive pagan Arab army was coming from the front. So the Muslim men left the city of Medina to fight the Arabs, knowing the back was behind them was okay, because they were allied with this Jewish tribe and nobody could come through their lands to attack Medina from behind. So the women and children were left back in Medina and the men went out to fight, And the Bani Qurayza, these are the ones who double-crossed the Muslims, who then went to attack Medina from behind. They broke the treaty. Yeah, this is treason, and according to Jewish law, execution.
Right.
And when and the Prophet asked, "Who would you like to give you your sentence?" They called one of their own, one guy who was with the Muslims, who they believed to be an ally of theirs, and he was the one who used the Jewish law to sentence them. And the Prophet said, "You've chosen wisely."
Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's his own fault. Okay, so he's dead.
So he's executed, and then after that, the Prophet marries his obviously his widow. Right now, here's the thing: you see, in your mind,
now we're getting somewhere. Right now
in your mind, this is what you think. Listen. No, listen. In your mind, this is what you've been thinking. Sorry?
Go on, go ahead. You're
All right.
twisting
So in your
things.
mind,
This is
you've
what
got this
Why are you
image.
telling me what I think?
Because I know what you think.
Go on and tell everyone
Well, tell me if I'm wrong.
think.
Tell me if I'm wrong then. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I think I know what you think. I'm going to tell you now what you think. You tell me if I'm wrong. Be honest, yeah?
Yeah.
You think that this man was murdered, yeah? And then
Yeah.
the prophet then took his wife and married her while she was grieving, while she was she had no choice in it. Basically, he just took her as his wife. Yeah, as a grieving widow, she didn't have no chance to grieve, no nothing. He just married her. That's what you believe, mate. I think so.
No, it's not. That's not actually what I believe.
You don't believe that? How long after
Right.
how long after
No,
did he
no,
marry her then?
You're wrong. No. Right,
two-
hold on. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. That's not what I think, and you are wrong.
Oh, tell me
Okay?
what you think then.
Right. What happened? Right.
Go on, tell me what happened.
Right. After he had died, Muhammad gave Sophia.
After he was died, you just changed that. After he was murdered. Come on, let's continue.
Right. He gave Sophia a choice. He said,
I
"You
just
can come
told you
with us,
that.
or you could stay here."
I just told you
Yeah.
that.
Right. Yeah.
You
Right, so
don't use my word.
right,
Use your own
yeah,
paradigm.
So we confirmed it. Okay. That's fine.
So these
We
ones
agree.
are £3 each or 2 for 5. And you can choose which colours you like.
Anything to
Yeah. Inshallah. So I say that again.
Right. Have you finished with the customer? Yeah.
She's still here.
You have with the customer, yeah?
Yeah, okay, she's okay. She's okay.
Right.
She's happy to rinse here as
Right.
well as deal here. Go on.
Right. So I'm affirming what you said. So we agree. Sophia had a choice. She could either stay there or go with Muhammad. She didn't have to. She
Yeah.
wasn't dragged away.
No.
Right. So if they've all been executed and murdered and all dead, not much of a choice there. But she probably just thought, stay here with all
Right.
the dead bodies, or go with Muhammad.
All right. At this
nice
juncture, Graham, at this juncture, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Do you go on Christian sites and start challenging the Bible? Do you like read passages from the
No.
Bible and says, "How can you read this book?" Why not?
Why are you,
Have
why
you
changing
read
the
the Bible?
subject? I thought you were going to stick.
No. The reason I'm trying to understand again, you know, too, I'm testing your consistency, because in the Bible, right, there's a verse, right? I think it's the book of Numbers or Kings, okay, where Moses, the commanders of the army come to Moses and said, "We've killed all the men. We've killed all the men." Yeah, and they've got all the women as captives, women and children as captives. And Moses says to them, and he got angry with them. He got angry with his commanders of the army and said, "Why have you left all the women and children alive? Kill all the women,
Right.
and kill all the boys, and leave alive just the girls that have not known a man. Leave all the little girls. Yeah, leave all the little girls. So kill their mums, kill their aunts, kill their grandmas, grandparents, brothers, cousins, kill everyone, and isolate these little girls who've not had sex." Yeah, how they would determine that, I don't know. 1 second. And then share them out amongst you. And 30,000 little girls were taken as slaves that day. Why do you have a problem with that?
Didn't say I didn't have a problem with that.
Well, you don't go onto Christian streams speaking to Christians saying, "Your Bible, how can you believe this book? How can it say taking these women and this? How can it say killing men, women, and children and suckling babies and donkeys?" And you don't do this. Why are you on a Muslim stream getting upset about things you don't even understand fully? £2. Those things you can't explain away. Those things in the Bible, there's no context
You're twisting
to
things, right?
hide.
You don't, right. Now, I believe you said, do you go on these websites? I don't say we go on the websites, right? Doesn't mean I don't
No, I
speak
said,
to
do you go
Christians
on
about
YouTube
their
channels?
religion. No.
I said,
no.
do you go on
Right.
Christian YouTube channels and challenge them and say, "How can you have a book that says this and say that?" Do you do that or not? I'm just saying, so why you've chosen Islam, why you don't do it to the Christians who've got a book that says much worse than the Quran says.
I do question Christians about their religion. I do that. It's not personal.
Do you question them about those verses about taking little girls as slaves
Yes.
and killing all their parents
Maybe I
and
do.
family?
Yes.
We both know you don't, because you said you don't. You're just making stuff up now, Graham.
You
just said you don't. I can't twist if you said you don't. How can I twist that? You said you don't. And now you're saying, how do you know I don't? Well, you just told me you don't.
Right, no.
No, black is not. Coming soon.
You're asking me, anyone in the chat, right? He's asking me a question to get me to answer a certain way. Right. I do question Christians about their religion.
Well, you just said, no. I didn't say that, did I? I didn't say your question about their religion.
Yeah.
I said,
you asked me a specific question. Do you go onto these
No, I
websites?
didn't.
Do you do that?
I was very specific in what I said.
Particular thing.
I was very specific in what I said. I said, do you question them about their book?
Exactly. Yeah. Because you're very good.
And you said no.
That.
You said you know. You said no.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my sister.
You're busy, eh?
I'm always busy. You said you don't.
So I start doing it.
Well, if you're going to be consistent, there's worse things in the Bible before you even come near the Quran.
Okay.
And the things in the Quran, the context is bang on with regards self-defense. In the Bible, there's no escape. It's pure, and the Christians will tell you this is justified because God said to do it. They don't hide behind it. Yeah, they're proud of it. Yeah, righteous killing.
Subject.
No, it's not off topic. I just understood. Look,
can we just go back to what we were talking about
Quran.
a second ago, please?
Okay. What I'm saying to you is this: you made a point about Sophia.
You asked me this question.
What choice would she have?
What happened?
Anyway,
do you want to hear my verdict? Right. No, listen to me.
On what?
What happened was
your verdict on what?
Sophia was slapped in the face by her husband because she had a dream about the moon. Right. They were all chopped to pieces.
You're just googling this now.
Mutilated.
You're googling this now.
Let me finish. Go
on, Graham.
Right.
Go on.
They were all chopped to pieces and murdered. The prophet said, "Do you want to come with us?"
Well, stop.
What choice? No, I'm not going to stop. Right.
Stop.
She goes, "Okay, I'll come with you guys because you ain't got much choice." Right.
Stop.
And then, right, to answer your question, you asked about 10 minutes ago what you said.
So, Graham,
did he have it off of her that night?
Graham.
He didn't. He waited a month for her to go through a menstrual cycle.
Graham,
right, because she has to mourn over her husband.
You just used that word again.
That Muhammad, let me finish.
Graham,
Finish. Right. What
I won't allow you to
finish.
He
waited a month for her to go through a menstrual cycle.
I won't allow you to finish.
Because if she fell pregnant, then he wouldn't know who his child was. Right. Because he doesn't want to bring up some Jewish bastard's fucking kid, does he? Right. That's why they had sex after a month.
Graham,
they waited a month for her to go through a menstrual cycle. There you go. That's answered that question from 10 minutes ago.
Graham, goodbye. I'll just say it again. Use that word martat again, and you don't understand it.
A few moments later.
Yes, Graham.
Right.
Yeah, go on. What's your next point?
We said you haven't got. Yeah,
I haven't got a lot of time, but I just want to go through. So the point you came with first was that why does the Quran tell Muslims to cut their hands and heads off, fingers and heads off Jews? It doesn't. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Pagan Arabs, apparently.
Well, no, and who's to cut their heads off? Who cut their heads off from fingertips?
I don't know.
What does the Quran say? Who does the Quran say struck the necks and fingertips?
We haven't got long, so it was a bit of a sore subject.
Look, here's how I work, Graham. So you understand. I'm happy to deal with things with you, no problem at all.
Pagan Arabs murdered.
But what I'm talking about is this. If you come with a point or a claim, and it gets refuted, I'm not just going to move on to the next point and claim until you take back that claim. Simple. So that verse in the Quran, who is instructed or who did the smiting of the neck and the fingertips?
I don't know. Who did do it?
I already told you.
The angel Gabriel. The angels did it.
Okay, the verse. I'll read it again to you. And remember, when your Lord revealed to the angels, verily I am with you, so keep firm those who have believed. I will cast terror into the hearts of those who have disbelieved. So strike them over the necks and smite them over their fingers and toes. So Allah is saying, go protect the Muslims to the angels. That's what that verse is referring to.
Okay.
It isn't an instruction. It isn't an instruction manual for Muslims to go chopping heads off? Do you understand that now?
Well, you seem to be reading it in English, not Arabic.
Well, I am English, so what do you read it in?
Well, it should be read. It should be read in Arabic.
No, well, you didn't read it in Arabic. You read it in English.
Well, I didn't read it, did I?
So where'd you get the information from? You didn't get the information in Arabic, did you? So that whatever information you brought forward came from what, an English website or an Arabic website? Because we both know you didn't read the Quran and find it. The information you read that you came with, striking fingertips, was that in Arabic or English?
Quran was written in Arabic.
No. The claim you came with about striking the necks, chopping the heads off and fingers off, that's information that you came with. Did you read that from an English source or an Arabic source?
English.
Right. So I've explained to you the English understanding of it. So you've misunderstood what you're reading or what you've been told it says, more likely. Yeah. That it doesn't instruct Muslims to chop the heads and fingers of anyone. So you're wrong about that. Agreed?
Yeah, I'm agreed with that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Second thing, the Muslims were not fighting Jews at Badr. Wrong about that as well, yeah?
Right.
Was you wrong about that as well?
I want to leave you with something. Right.
No, 1 second, Graham, before you leave me with anything, remember what I said to you, we need to take this back a little bit. So, do you accept you were wrong in your understanding of who the Muslims were fighting of in these battles?
Yeah, I'm wrong, whatever.
Right. And why were they fighting these particular enemy?
No, you tell me.
Right. I told you already. Right. Because because I've already told you the answer in the last conversation. Anyway, so the reason that this battles took place was because these pagan, because you did ask the question, why were they fighting the pagan Arabs? Okay. So the pagan Arabs, when the prophet came down from the mountain and told them to stop worshipping statues and that and to worship the one God of Abraham, they first of all they mocked, and then they persecuted anyone who followed him. And then finally, they did to the Muslims what Hitler did to the Jews in Germany. Basically, like in Germany, they put a star and no one can trade with them, marry their daughter, and all this kind of stuff. This is what was done to the Muslims. And they were exiled in the desert to die. Yeah? So this is the history. And from there, they ended up emigrating to Yathrib, Medina, where the Jews and then the people of Medina took Muhammad as a leader. Yeah. And then the persecution of the Muslims left in Makkah and their properties was all increased. All increased. And they were taking the possessions and the Muslims, and they were taking them on caravans and selling their possessions, persecuted any of the relatives of the Muslims who remained in Makkah. So this is why finally these battles took place, to take back what was taken from them, as the verse in the Quran says, fight those who fight you and turn them out from where they turned you out. Yeah. For oppression is worse than slaughter. But if they desist, then you desist, for Allah is not the transgressor. So the idea that you thought Muslims were fighting Jews was wrong, yeah? You're wrong about that.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm not, just say it, it's all right.
Yeah.
Good man. Right. What do you want to leave me with?
Right. You said there were way back in the chat. You said one of the possibilities is Muhammad is delusional and deluded. Yes. That's one of the possibilities, or he's receiving revelation.
Right. No, I said he's deluded. He's lying. He's deceived. Or he's telling the truth.
Okay. So if I tell you that I'm the Messiah, I'm a prophet, you say to me...
You've already asked me this question.
Yeah, I know. So
right, you've already asked this question. No, I'd say you're either crazy or lying.
crazy or lying. Okay. But Muhammad was telling the truth. According to
I
you.
believe so, yeah. Yes.
Right. So there's no way that this was some sort of delusion, dream, hallucination,
No.
or
No.
what doctors might call schizophrenia.
No.
Because clinically, that is what happens when people get messages and they get voices in their head. A qualified doctor will tell them that.
Look, Graham, if you want to make the claim that you believe that the Prophet Muhammad was schizophrenic and this gave him the ability to reveal the Quran over 23 years, but you already said his mates wrote it for him. Yeah? So now you got a problem. Because if he's schizophrenic, right, then he thinks he's hearing voices. Now that's completely opposite to what you said earlier, because before you said he lied. So you can't be schizophrenic and a liar. So if you're schizophrenic, you think you're telling the truth. If you're a liar, you know you're not. So which is it, Graham? Yeah. So if you're schizophrenic, you're not lying. You get me? Do you understand that difference? So you give up now on the idea that his mates were writing it for him and he was pretending it was an angel. That's gone now, yeah?
Well, he was delusional, wasn't he?
So if he's delusional, right, so if he's delusional, then the idea that he was lying and that his mates were making up the Quran and he was pretending it was an angel or thinking it was an angel, yeah? You can't have both. So if you think an angel's talking to you because you're schizophrenic and you're hearing voices, yeah, you think that's real. Yeah, you don't think it's not. You're not pretending. Agreed?
Okay.
Right. So you can't be both. So if you're schizophrenic, you're not a liar. Now you have to pin your colours to the mast, Graham. Is he schizophrenic or is he a liar?
Schizophrenic.
He's schizophrenic.
Yeah, deluded.
Right. So who authored the Quran?
Can you give me your definition of what you mean? What you mean by authored?
Yeah. Who wrote it?
He received so-called revelations and got his followers.
So he did receive revelation. So he did receive some revelation.
No, he thought that he was.
Right. So who wrote the Quran then? So who's the author of the Quran? Who's the author of the words?
He is then, because he's receiving this so-called revelation and down.
Right. So he is.
Yeah.
So you believe that? So this is your paradigm that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a schizophrenic who heard voices that give him the ability, yeah, to provide the information written in the Quran, yeah, over 23-year period. That you claim. Where did he get the information about the apocryphal books of the Christians and the Gospels and the Old Testament? And where did he get all this information from?
Well, they were written before the Quran, weren't they?
When was an Old Testament available in Arabic in that region? And he couldn't even read it anyway. So even if it was there, he couldn't read it. But your homework is to make that claim of schizophrenia work. All right? Good luck.
Sorry, say that again.
Okay, you've got your homework is to make that schizophrenia claim stick, yeah? Because you accept if he's schizophrenic, he's not a liar, yeah?
Yeah.
Good man. All right, take care. See you soon.